you the topic entitled Diastolic Pressure, Getting to the Root. You see, blood pressure is what? It's simply the force of blood pushing against artery walls. You see, the arteries are the blood vessels which carry blood from your heart and supply everywhere in the body till your feet, and then the veins bring the blood back. You see, blood pressure itself is not a disease. It's your body communicating with you. It's a signal that something might be wrong somewhere. Normally, there is underlying health issue or there's a disorder. You see, if you look at a patching damp ceiling, if your ceiling is damp and every time you patch it over and over without checking the roof for the real leak, that is how blood pressure is. If you don't look at what is really causing your blood pressure, you will be on those medications for the rest of your life. Unfortunately, those medications also got their own side effects, especially on the kidneys, which you know. You see, if we look at blood pressure, the truth of the matter is this. In the past, in the 1970s, they said blood pressure, the normal guidelines was 160/95. And then in 2003, they shifted it to 140/90. And then in 2017, they said it's 130/80. And today, they said 120/80. But the question is, why one number should fit everybody? No, it's impossible. You see, arteries change with age, and it changes with the blood pressure as well. Take it, for instance, a 30-year-old and a 60-year-old shouldn't be judged by the same number, that is 120/80. Their arteries are simply not in the same condition. They're different. You see, as we age, our arteries lose that elasticity. We have what is called elastin. We don't have enough with age, so we have stiffer arteries, and then there's a buildup of calcium and collagen and other materials in the arterial wall. So this makes our arteries stiffer and narrower. That causes in higher blood pressure. You see, 90% of blood pressure officially is known to be like unknown, but research has now made it very clear that it is caused by hyperinsulinemia. What does it mean? It's a chronically high insulin in your blood that actually causes 90% of blood pressure in general, and 10% is secondary hypertension caused by your thyroid, the kidney, and hormonal changes, and some medications like painkillers, we call that NSAIDs, like ibuprofen, and also there are medications like steroids. They can also cause secondary hypertension. Women that are taking hormonal therapies for birth or for menopause, after menopause, can also cause secondary hypertension. So now we ask ourselves, what is the diastolic pressure? Diastolic pressure is the pressure when your heart is at rest. It means in between beats. Normally, it's supposed to be between 60 and 79 mmHg, that is millimeters per mercury, that is the measurement. And when it's 80 plus, they say it's a warning. But then at the age of 55 and more, it may start coming down, and you may think it is improving. No, it's not improving. It's the same mechanism. Your arteries losing their flexibility. It's called spring back. If your arteries are losing their flexibility, your arteries, the second number, diastolic pressure will go up. And as you age, it will also start coming down. It's the same mechanism. Healthy arteries will stretch each time your heart beats and snap back to sustain the pressure between beats. Stiff arteries or inflexible arteries lose that flexibility, so the diastolic can fall with age, or it can rise when you're in your 20s, 30s, 40s, and early 50s. But then it means that there's a problem. If you take that second number, that is the diastolic pressure, from the systolic pressure, that is the top number. The difference is called pulse pressure. And when you do the subtraction and the pulse pressure is more than 60 or less than 40, it means there's a problem in your arteries, which can lead to stroke or heart attack or enlarged heart or sudden cardiac arrest. Beloveds, the real root cause is the small arteries is squeezed by stress hormones. The stress hormones are example adrenaline. These are stress hormones, adrenaline. It can tighten your blood vessels. And we have also hormones produced by the kidneys. They do the same to make your arteries very stiff and narrower. We have also weight and insulin resistance. That is when your body cannot respond to insulin well because of the food we eat, ultra processed food, a lot of sugar. So your muscle cells, your liver cells, your fat cells don't respond well to insulin. That is real primary cause of blood pressure in general, but also with the diastolic blood pressure as well. Smoking, alcohol, and blood sugar imbalance will always cause high diastolic pressure. But how do we fix this problem? You have to have a test to check if your thyroid is okay, your kidneys are okay, your hormones are balanced, and the medications you're taking, if you are taking painkillers, steroids, medications for let's say for inflammation, if you are inflamed, you're taking medication for steroid, it can cause these problems as well. What food do we need? We need leafy green vegetables. Leafy green vegetables like this broccoli, parsley, and all the greens are very important for our arteries. Fatty fish like the salmon, mackerel, a bit of sardine, they're also useful for our arterial health. Garlic, nuts and seeds, citrus and berries are also very, very useful for the arteries, especially when it comes to diastolic blood pressure. Beloveds, we should treat the root cause of the problem, that is the pressure, not just treating the blood pressure. If we do that, then there won't be any need to be on blood pressure medication for the rest of our lives, which can lead to problems with the kidneys and the heart. I believe we've understood diastolic blood pressure. If you have diastolic blood pressure or systolic blood pressure or any kind of chronic disease, give me a call away, share this number, be a blessing to somebody. If you're calling outside the UK, it's +44 738 464 7300. If you're calling within the UK, it's just without +44, it's just 0738 464 7300. If you want to spread this good news, go to my YouTube channel, put in Dr. James